What is up, gamers? What is up, game? All right, let's go ahead and share this out. Um, Go ahead, click on here. Breaking news. Breaking news, man. This this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. But we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. Per IGN, Phil Spencer is retiring. Sarah Bond is out. Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec. Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. Spencer's retirement is effective as of Monday, February 23rd. This came out about 30 minutes ago. It took me about 10 minutes to get this thing set up. I really wanted to talk about it. I really want to go over it with you guys because we have had some breaking news really in the last 24 hours. I mean, Bluepoint is getting shut down by PlayStation. A lot of people are blaming Herman Holtz and PlayStation for it. Now we have breaking news that Phil Spencer is out, Sarah Bond is out, Matt Booty getting promoted, and an AI exec from Microsoft is getting promoted to be the new Xbox boss. And I've never heard of this person. So we're going to dive deep today real quick and do some research and find out who the heck is this exec Asha Sharma. See what we can find out about it. But first, let's go ahead and pull up this email or this article from IGN. I really don't fuck with IGN. I think they're fucking losers. But we're gonna take a look real quick and see what they have to say since they're breaking this news. We have up here written by Ryan McCaffrey. Ryan McCaffrey, the fucking God, Ryan used to be a good journalist back in the day, man. I don't know what happened to him, but let's go ahead and check this out. Phil Spencer retiring, Sarah Bond out, Matt Booty promoted as Microsoft AI exec, Asha Sharma named new Xbox boss. Exclusive. I would like to give him props for this title because he said, wham, bam, bam, here you go. Microsoft, so this came out at 2:46 p.m. Central Standard Time today. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer, who has been at Microsoft since he joined as an intern in 1988 and with Xbox since the software giant launched its first console in 2001, is retiring. Sources familiar with the matter who are not authorized to speak publicly confirmed to IGN Spencer's retirement is effective on Monday, February 23rd. Guys, this is basically his last days today. Basically, he's got the weekend. And that's it. On Monday, he is done, retired. This is super unusual because normally we hear about retirements months in advance, right? Normally a month, 2, 3 months out, especially high profile CEO like this. So, them announcing it a weekend before it's supposed to happen is very unusual. But I can almost guarantee you that internally they have known about this for a long time, maybe even over a year. But anyways, meanwhile, Xbox President Sarah Bond, long thought by many both sides or both insides and outsides of Microsoft to be Spencer's heir, apparently has resigned. The new CEO of Microsoft Gaming will be Asha Sharma, currently the president of Microsoft Core AI product. Finally, Xbox Game Studios head Matt Booty is being promoted to Chief Content Officer and will work closely with Sharma. This is insane, bro. Sarah Bond resigning. Um, I would love to hear a statement from Sarah Bond. I really would. But we have more. We have emails to go over as well. But Sarah Bond resigning could have been for a couple different reasons. This is all speculation, of course. I'm just using what I know with my experience in corporate fucking movement and corporate political business. Either Sarah Bond was extremely loyal to Phill, or, and this is the more than likely, is she is not getting the position and they gave it to Matt Booty instead. So therefore, she's saying, fuck this, I'm out. But we will see. Um, the new CEO of Microsoft Gaming will be a Shah, currently president. Okay, we read that. I want to thank Phill for his extraordinary leadership and partnership, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said in an email sent to Microsoft staff. Over 38 years at Microsoft, including 12 years leading gaming, Phill helped transform what we do and how we do it. Full emails from Nadella, Spencer, Sharma, and Booty are below. Oh, that's awesome. We get to read the emails ourselves. Spencer, in this email to Microsoft staff, said in part, last fall, I shared with Satya that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter of my life. From that moment, we aligned and approached this transition with intention. So I called it. Hey, what's up, Queen Miku? How you doing? Nope, they couldn't give Sony, but we're gonna get into Sony a little bit as well. I want to read this Microsoft news, and then we're gonna talk about Bluepoint. But so, like I said earlier, this was already planned out. They knew a year in advance, which is very unusual to just announce it and a weekend later Phill is out or a CEO is out. But it also explained why Phill has been super quiet over the last year specifically. We align on approach this transition with intention, ensuring stability and strengthening the foundation we've built. Xbox has always been more than a business; it's a vibrant community of players, creators, and teams who care deeply about what we build and how we build it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO. I want to be the first to welcome her into this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. We know this is an important moment for our fans, partners, and team. We're committed to getting it right. I'll remain in advisory role through the summer to support a smooth handoff. So I don't like I don't okay, first off, I don't like this. Um Not that, look, this lady, we're gonna Google her right now actually. Let's go ahead and do that. But she is a CEO and she has been in charge of Microsoft's AI branch, okay? Which she knows how to run a business. Okay, that's not what I'm concerned with. But at the same time, it's like you don't know anything with gaming, and I'm not saying you have to know about gaming to be able to run a business, but you know what I mean? It's just weird. Let's see, Asha Pharma. Let's click on this. President Core AI Product, Microsoft. Asa Sharma is President leading product development for Microsoft Core AI Product. In this role, she oversees the team. Blah 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 blah. Prior to joining Microsoft, Sharma served as Chief Operating Officer of Instacart with full P&L responsibilities. P&L stands for profits and losses. What's up, Ace? So basically, every business has a monthly report that comes out, quarterly report, yearly report that's called P&L, which is profits and losses. And in this report, you see every single expense the business has, everything that the company that they're making, employee expenses, fucking travel expense, absolutely everything is inside of a P&L. So it looks like she's been responsible for that for Instacart previously, okay? But look, so she's a business person. That's what I wanted to know. She was also vice president at Meta, Messenger, Instagram Direct, Messenger Kids, remote presence, calling and video company. So she's done nothing but basically be a CEO. Shawarma serves on the board of the home director or of boards of Home Depot and Coupang. She holds a bachelor's of science. Damn it. Alright, let's go back to the article here. I really want to see the damn email that they were sending off. Where the hell's the emails at, buddy? Oh, here are the emails. You know what? We're going to go to an easier way of seeing this damn emails. All right, so this is from CEO Satya Nadella. I really don't care what he has to say. This is from Phill right here. Subject: a new chapter for Microsoft Gaming. Now, this is Phil's email that he sent out to all the employees over at Microsoft. He says, when I walked through Microsoft doors as an intern in June of 1988, I could never imagine the product I helped build, the players and customers we serve, or the extraordinary teams I'd be lucky enough to join. It's been an epic ride and truly the privilege of a lifetime. Last fall, I shared with Satya that I was thinking about stepping back and starting the next chapter of my life. From that moment, we aligned on approaching this transition with intention, ensuring stability and strengthening the foundation we built. Xbox has been more than a business. It's a vibrant community of players, creators, and teams who care deeply about what we built and how we built it, and it deserves a thoughtful, deliberate plan for the road ahead. Today marks an exciting new chapter for Microsoft Gaming as Asha Sharma steps into the role of CEO. And I want to be the first to welcome her to this incredible team. Working with her over the past several months has given me tremendous confidence. She brings genuine curiosity, clarity, and deep commitment to understanding players, creators, and the decisions that shape our future. Except she is, now this is me talking, except she's a CEO. She doesn't know anything at fucking what gaming is, what gaming does. She's going to be looking specifically at the numbers. That is it. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Phil Spencer is retiring effective Monday. Sarah Bond quit, and Matt Booty is getting promoted, while Asha will be in charge of it all. That's as quick of a breakdown as I can tell you. So Phil also says we know this is an important moment for our fans partners. We're committed, right? He's gonna be working through the summer to make sure that everything's going smoothly. I'm also grateful for the strength of our studio organization. Matt Booty and our studio teams continue to build an incredible portfolio, and I have full confidence in the leadership and creative momentum across our global studios. I want to congratulate Matt on his promotion to EVP and Chief Content Officer. As part of this transition, Sarah Bond has decided to leave Microsoft to begin a new chapter. Sarah has been instrumental during a defining period of Xbox, shaping our platform strategy, expanding Game Pass and cloud gaming, supporting new hardware launches, and guiding some of our most significant moments in our history. I'm grateful for her partnership and the impact she's had. I wish her the very best in what comes next. Most of all, to everyone in Microsoft Gaming, I want to say thank you. I've learned so much from this team and community growing alongside you, and been continually inspired by the creativity, courage, and care you bring to players, creators, and to one another every day. I'm incredibly proud of what we built together over the last 25 years. I have complete confidence in all of you and the opportunities ahead. I'll be cheering you on in this next chapter as Xbox proudest fan and player, Phill. Okay, so Sarah leaving, that is to me the big surprise here, honestly. A lot of people thought Sarah would be the one to take over for Phill. We knew Phill was his time was short. We knew this, right? A lot of us knew that after the ABK deal, the Activision deal, after that it was gonna be Phill was gonna be short. Look, Phill has been CEO of Xbox for a long time. That is not normal for CEOs in this capacity. The turnaround rate for CEOs when they're in a Fortune 500 company is 3 to 5 years, guys. That is it. That is the average. They're generally there to move the company through a transition, through a moment of transition. So from the start of something impactful in a company, walk them through it and then hand the keys off to somebody else. That other CEO will guide that transition and make adjustments and recommendations on what the next steps should be. Once those steps happen, they gauge that CEO to see how successful it was, and then they decide, do we keep him? Are we going to trade him off? But all these fucking people, they just move around. It's a fucking game of hopscotch. The other thing that happens too is these people bring all their people with them. So if you become CEO of a company, they're going to bring their fucking CFO, their CEO. They're bringing anybody they can bring with them. Regional vice presidents, district managers, the whole nine, right? That is standard practice in this business. It's just how it is. So with Sarah Bond quitting once Phill retires, leads me to believe one or two things, like I mentioned at the beginning, but we have more people here now, so I'll say it again. Either Sarah Bond was extremely disillusioned, right? She thought she was going to get Phil's position, and they didn't, so she quit. Or Sarah is extremely loyal to Phill and said, you're leaving, I'm leaving too. which I don't think that's the case because it's business, man. Business is cutthroat, especially at this level. It is political, very political. So I think that Sarah Bond said, "Oh, you guys want to pass me up? Okay, then I'm fucking quitting." I think. I don't know. I'm just shooting the shit. I don't know. I'm just going based off my experience and what I think is happening. We have emails here from Phill. We have emails from Matt Booty. We don't have emails from Sarah Bond. So we got an email from Satya. We just read the email from Phill. And I want to read the email from Asha. Once again, I pulled up Asha. She worked for Instacart. She worked for Instagram. She worked for Meta. She worked for Messenger. She did all this other shit, nothing with gaming, and now she'll be in charge of it. But let's go back and read what she has to say. She says, "Dear team, today I begin my role as CEO of Microsoft Gaming. I feel two things at once: humility and urgency." Urgency, interesting word. Humility because this team has built something extraordinary over decades. Urgency because gaming is in a period of rapid change and we need to move with clarity and conviction. Interesting. I am stepping into work shaped by generations of artists, engineers, designers, writers, musicians, operators, and more who create worlds that have brought joy and deep personal meaning to hundreds of millions of players. The level of craft here is exceptional, and it is amplified by Xbox, which has founded in the belief that the power of games connect people and push the industry forward. So far, it's a lot of fucking corporate talk. I don't know if it's good or bad for Xbox, man. I really don't know that, Michael. But as you guys know, whenever there's change involved, there's always a lot of fear, right? Though there's always skepticism. There's always, people feel uncomfortable because people feel comfortable to what they're used to. And I feel like the players, the Xbox gamer, is just now starting to get used to what Xbox has become, right? They're just now starting to understand that, okay, the Xbox console is basically no more. Game Pass is now $30. Play everywhere. Xbox focusing on third-party publishing, PC. They're just now starting to get used to that. And now it's like, bam, slap, wake up. You now have a new CEO. Matt Booty's getting promoted. Sarah Bond no longer exists. Phil Spencer no longer exists. And I think that's the scary part with any platform. And look, if this was to happen to PlayStation, I don't think it would be quite as jarring, right? And the reason I say that, or Nintendo, I'm not just using PlayStation, but at Nintendo or PlayStation, because I think Nintendo and PlayStation, they both know what they are and what they're trying to be. Xbox, even though they've been in this for 25 years, it still feels like they're trying to figure themselves out. And I think that's what makes this even more jarring. It's like, okay, the most consistent thing that has happened at Xbox is Phil Spencer. He's been the CEO for 12 years. You know what I mean? That's the most consistent thing that has happened at Xbox in the last 25 years. Is that Phil Spencer has been the CEO for 12 years. And this last 5 years, this current console generation has been such a freaking half a decade of transition for Xbox, and bam, right when you think you're getting comfortable, you get hit with something like this. So Xbox is in a new direction, Microsoft is taking Xbox in a new direction, and now you have a new CEO. Look, say what you want about Phil, but Phil knew a little bit about gaming, right? I'm not going to sit here and tell you that he was a gamer, but he knew a little bit about gaming. So there was some solace, there was some comfort in knowing that, okay, at least the guy in charge knows about gaming. Now, you have a CEO in Asha who doesn't know shit about gaming. She worked at Instacart, Instagram, Meta, fucking Messenger. What the fuck does she know about gaming? Except that maybe her kids play or her family members play. That's it. So now you have this route that Xbox has taken in third-party publishing and really pushing the console to the back of the line, focusing on PC, focusing on handhelds. And now you got a new CEO. The only thing that I see some relief, a little relief, is that Matt Booty is staying around. That's it. But let me finish reading this. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. 100 billion down the drain. Xbox has been having an identity. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I'm saying, man. You have this new CEO in Asha who doesn't know shit about gaming, which once again, you don't need to know about gaming to be the CEO of Xbox, but it sure as fuck doesn't hurt. But let's continue to what else she says because everything's been sounding very corporatey. She says here, I am stepping to work. Okay. Thank you for Phill for his leadership and to every studio platform operations team that built this foundation. We are stewards of some of the most loved stories and characters in entertainment and bring players and creators together around the fun and community of gaming in entirely new ways. My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it. That starts with three commitments. First, great games. Okay, great. We will see about that. We will see about that. Everything begins here. We must have a great games beloved by players before we do anything. I actually agree with that, by the way. Unforgettable characters, stories that make us feel, innovating gameplay, and creative excellence. We will empower our studios, invest in iconic franchises, and back bold new ideas. We will take risk. We will enter new categories and markets where we can add real value, grounded in what players care about most. I promoted Matt Booty in honor of his commitment. He understands the craft and the challenges of build great games, has led teams that deliver award-winning work, and has earned the trust of game developers across the industry. Okay, so this is important here. This is extremely important here. The new CEO is Asha Sharma, right here. She worked at. Hold up. Where was it? I'm sorry. She worked at Instacart, Meta, Meta, Messenger, and a couple other things. But this is interesting what she says right here because she's laying out three commitments. The first one is great games. The second is the return of Xbox. We're going to read to see what that means to her. And the third is future of play. So these are her three commitments. Very interesting. The first one is great games. She says how she promoted Matt Booty because he knows great games. Okay. Let's read the second one. The return of Xbox. Let's see what the fuck that means. We will recommit to our core Xbox. Shit. My bad, guys. I'm using a different headset. I hope you guys can still hear me. Let me check the audio real quick. Alright, looks like you guys can't hear me. Apologize. Where did I live off? Okay. The return of Xbox. The return of Xbox. We will recommit to our core Xbox fans and players, those who have invested with us for the past 25 years, and to the developers who built the expansive universes and experiences that embraced by the player across the world. We will celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with consoles, which has shaped who we are. It connects us to the players and fans who invest in Xbox and to the developers who built ambitious experiences for it. Gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless, instant, and worthy of our communities we serve. We will break down the barriers so developers can build once and reach players everywhere without compromise. So she's not saying that we're going to go back to exclusive. She's just saying we're going to recommit to the console. I like that. I'd like that a lot. But unfortunately, we all know that exclusive sell hardware. Why would I buy an Xbox when I can play the game anywhere? At that point, your console has to be so good that I don't want to play it anywhere. I want to play it with you. Right? Before, your console could be shitty, but you had a banger library of games. Yeah, I'll put up with a shitty console so I can play those badass games. But if I can play it on PC, PlayStation, Nintendo, you're going to have to do something extra special with that console. And how good can you make a console while keeping it competitive price-wise with the competition? Meaning, if the PlayStation 6 comes out and it's at, I don't know, $600, right? But the Xbox, the next Xbox is way better than that PS6, but in turn it's going to be $800. You're not going to be able to compete market-wise. You're going to sell, right? But it's going to be a niche amount of players, kind of like the PS5 Pro. Yeah, the PS5 Pro is selling, but you're never going to sell 100 million consoles. And I think that's going to be the difference here. So we'll see what happens with Xbox. But hey, this is part of her three commitments. Is the return of the Xbox console, and this is important. Third is the future of play. We are witnessing the reinvention of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love. But we will not treat those worlds as static IP to milk and monetize. We will build a shared platform and tools that empower developers and players to create and share their own stories. As monetization and AI evolve and influence this future, we will not chase short-term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. Are these her words? Or did AI write this? Games are and always will be art crafted by humans and create with the most innovative technology provided by us. The next 25 years belong to the teams who dare to build something surprising, something no one else is willing to try, and have the patience to see it through. We have done this before, and I am here to help us do it again. I want to return to the renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. It will require us to relentlessly question everything, revisit processes, protect what works, and be brave enough to change what does not. Thank you for welcoming me into this journey. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I do not like what she is saying here. I'm not going to sit here and do that. Because I love what she is saying here. I love the fact that the thing she put first is great games. I love that. I love that. Who the hell doesn't want great games, right? The second thing she did, the return of Xbox. I love that too. I want Xbox to be powerful. I want Xbox to be good. I want people to talk about Xbox like they did in the 360 days. I want people to say, yeah, man, this game is pretty badass on my Xbox. People's ears perk up, right? Like, whoa, really? Hell yeah, I need to check that game out. I need to play it on the Xbox. I want that to happen. And the last thing, the future of play. She says it right here. Humans are the efficiency flood of our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. I love that too. And hold up, let's go back to this article because I think we get a much better right here. As monetization and AI evolve and influence its future, we will not chase short term efficiency or flood our ecosystem with soulless AI slop. This does not mean that they're not going to use AI. It just means that they're not going to use it in a cheap way, how we have been seeing it lately. So she is saying things that I absolutely agree with. But the thing is, guys, Xbox already crossed that line, man. They already said, we're going to go third party. We're not going to do exclusives anymore. And we're going to price our console at a higher tier. Now, we can say that's material, whatever problem, whatever. But a Series X is $700, guys. 700. So I don't know what they're planning on doing here. I don't know what changes they're gonna be making, and we would just have to wait and see. It will be ironic if Asha, who knows nothing about gaming, or at least that's what I think because we haven't seen anything with her history in gaming. She's coming from Instacart and shit like that, so I can only assume that she knows nothing about gaming. Um, it'll be ironic if she came in and actually set Xbox in the right direction. What that right direction is, that is yet to be seen, man. Like she said, and like we've all been saying, the gaming industry is moving at a million miles an hour in a million different directions. The gaming that that was is not anymore. The gaming that is right now will not continue to be, is completely evolving and changing. But I really hope that Xbox pulls through. I don't know this Asha Sharma lady. I wish her well. Matt Booty. He also sent out an email, way shorter than the rest. So let's go ahead and read this real quick. I read Phil's note with much gratitude. He has been a steady champion for the game creators in our studio team, and I've learned so much from his leadership over the years. All our games have benefited from this foundational support. I'm also grateful to Satya for his ongoing commitment to gaming and holding a vision of how it can connect back to larger company. Looking forward, I'm excited to partner with Asha as our next CEO. Our first conversation centered on her commitment to making great games and the role that plays in our overall success. She asks questions, pushes for clarity, and wants our choices grounded in player and developer needs. That mindset matters as the industry around us is changing quickly. How players engage, how games are made, and how business models and platforms evolve. We have good reasons to believe in what's ahead. The organization and its franchises have navigated changes for decades, and our strength comes from teams who know how to adapt and keep delivering. That confidence is grounded in a strong pipeline of established franchises. Now, bets we believe in. We clear player demand for what we are building. My focus is on supporting the teams and leaders we have in place and creating the conditions for them to do their best work. To be clear, there are no organizational changes underway for our studios. Thanks for everything you do for players and for each other. Matt Booty said nothing here. Fuck Matt Booty. There you guys have it. There you guys have it. Changes at Xbox. And real quick, I also want to talk about Bluepoint for a second before I take off. I'm actually still at work, so I'm doing this on my break. But Bluepoint. Yesterday we heard the news. PlayStation is going to shut down Bluepoint. And I believe this is a big failure. Not just from PlayStation, but from Bluepoint as well. Now, I want to give you guys a quick little layout. Bluepoint got purchased in 2021 by PlayStation after they released Demon's Souls Remake in 2020. Game sold 1.5 million copies. In the last I think it was 5 games from Bluepoint, they sold a total of about 7 million copies. Nowhere near enough to bring in the money that they cost. All right? On average, they have about 70 to 80 employees. A couple years ago, they were up to 180 employees. Think about this. These are developers. These people are making $100,000 a year. Just to maintain that studio, we're talking about millions of dollars a month. Just to maintain. Just to pay salaries, pay rent, pay electricity, all that. When Bluepoint got purchased, and this is where I blame PlayStation. when Bluepoint, or part of the decision of Bluepoint accepting PlayStation's offer to get purchased was because they figured, hey, we have PlayStation support, we can stop making remakes and remasters, and we can finally try to do our own thing. Well, they got the opportunity to do something else, and they chose a God of War live service game. And this is where I'm blaming PlayStation. Because if PlayStation didn't have this live service fucking fever pitch, how the hell are you going to allow a studio like Blueprint? And look, I'm not saying that a developer cannot, create something magnificent with something they never did before, but I'm just saying this is a super small studio, and all they've done, they haven't even done their own games in a long ass time. How are you going to allow them to work on a live service game with an existing IP like God of War? Anyways, after 3 years, the rug got pulled under them. A year later, they didn't have anything to show PlayStation, and now they're getting closed down. People will say, well, what about Ben? Ben hasn't done anything in 7 years. Bluepoint hasn't done anything in 5. Well, the difference is, I guarantee you that when they have a meeting between Ben and PlayStation, Ben is coming up to PlayStation and saying, this is what we're working on, these are ideas, here's a vertical slice of what we are working on, and PlayStation's like, you know what, this looks good, let's continue. With Bluepoint, they came up there and they're like, this is what we have. And PlayStation's like, this is trash. 6 months later, this is trash. So it's not like PlayStation or Herman Holtz woke up today and decided, you know what, we're going to close down Bluepoint. No. This was an organizational decision to close down Bluepoint. Herman Holtz himself doesn't have the fucking authority to close down a studio by himself. But I do blame PlayStation, because how are you going to allow Bluepoint to do something like that? It blows my mind. It's ridiculous. But because of their greed and wanting to fucking do their live service shit, right, they approve them. We'll see what comes out. The news that is going to continue to come out. But I just want to touch on that real quick at the end, because it is not all Herman Holtz's fault. It is not all PlayStation's fault. Bluepoint has a lot to do here as well. And we've seen the situations that these studios get themselves in once they've been purchased. Look at what's the name of the studio that created Hellblade? Hellblade Studio. Ninja Theory. When Ninja Theory got purchased by Microsoft, do you guys remember that? I think, what was it, like 2018 or some shit like that, or 19? What were the CEOs doing? They were in Saint-Tropez on a fucking yacht smoking weed with like 10 bad bitches. Talking about we're in fucking Iceland capturing the land and the environment for our game. It took them like 6 years to make that fucking game for a 4-hour walking simulator. It's like your rookie ball player, right? He puts up incredible numbers his rookie year. The team signs him for a 10-year contract. And then the years after that, he's playing mediocre. Why? Because he secured the bag. He got the money, so now he doesn't have to try as hard, or he feels like he doesn't. So we've seen that happen. I'm not saying that's what Bluepoint did. I'm just saying that there is reasons for everything. Of course, we're going to wait for more information to come out, but I am letting you guys know that Bluepoint chose to do God of War. What up, Keems? Bluepoint chose to do God of War. They tried it for 3 years. It failed. And then after that, Bluepoint didn't have anything else. They didn't have any other ideas. And like I said, 80 people, developers, paying them $100,000 a piece. You're paying millions of dollars just to maintain them a month. Just a month. So now imagine a fucking year. How much money is that? A couple $100 million? I don't know. So these are just a couple questions. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section about Phil Spencer. I mean, fuck, this all happened very quick. Phil Spencer, we know that he told Satya last year, or so they say. But I think the big surprise here is not even Phil leaving. We knew he was out the door. Is Sarah Bond. We all thought Sarah Bond would come in and be the new, you know what I mean? But she said, I'm out. So that's actually my big surprising. I also like Asha Sharma's statement here. Now, how well does she do with that statement? We will see, right? But the fact that she said number one is gaming. Oh, let's go back to that because I can't find it. Great games is the first thing. The second one is the return of Xbox, and the third one is the future of play. All sound like good things to me. But once again, it's all about putting this shit in motion and in action. But there y'all have it, man. Just a quick little video go live to show you guys the news, give you guys my opinion, and we will definitely be talking about this on Sunday during my podcast, the State of Gaming podcast, every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come through, hang out with the boys while we talk gaming, current events, all that. If you would like to be part of the podcast, hit me up, send me a DM. We will get you up there on the podcast with us. That's the reason I created the podcast, is I want different people on there. Regular gamers who actually play games. Not the same 5 fucking bozos who are on the same fucking podcast every fucking week spewing the same fucking bullshit. Nah, let's get some real players. So if you're interested in coming on, hit me up, send me a DM. We'll schedule you, we'll put you on. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. We'll catch you guys later. Probably we'll stream tonight. We'll probably stream some more Resident Evil. Today's the official start of Resident Evil week here on the channel. Every single video that's dropping on the channel for the next week will be Resident Evil related. The very last video that we do for the Resident Evil week will be a Will It Play with No Internet, Resident Evil 9 Requiem. And yeah, it's dope. Today we dropped the 7 brand new Resident Evil games that I just picked up, my Playtime Pickup Haul. That was dope. Tomorrow we're dropping the Resident Evil Origins collection, Will It Play with No Internet. We're gonna talk about the differences between the copies and the editions and shit. Then we have another one coming out Saturday. I forget which one that one is, but either way, thank you guys so much. We'll catch you guys later. Keep it gaming.